Now, joining us, we have David Drucker from Roll Call to tell us what's really going on up there on Capitol Hill. David, you've been on that subway once or twice, right? Or do you walk?
Oh, you know, maybe a few times.
Yeah.
They never
right,
talk to me as much, though, as they talk to Jonathan.
Well, he does.
There's a magic with those cameras.
There is. You should think about holding one sometime. All right, well, David,
Okay.
let's talk about what's really going on here. I cannot keep up with all of this. We have a deal, we don't have a deal. The Tea Party's mad. No, they're not. It's Democrats' fault. It's Republicans' fault. What on earth is going on, and is this going to be solved over this weekend?
Well, I think one rule of thumb that I go by is that whenever anybody tells you out loud in public that we're close to a deal and here it is, and if only this guy would agree to it, everything would be fine, it usually tells me that we're really not that close to a deal. But if we are, it's definitely not on the terms that I'm being told. Everything on Capitol Hill is always very hush-hush. And, of course, as reporters, we're frustrated because all we get are platitudes like making progress, working hard. But usually that means that they are getting somewhere. And I think what is going on right now is everybody is trying to figure out exactly what is workable. I don't think that John Boehner is going to agree to anything with Senate Democrats without first running it by his conference and seeing what they think. By the same token, I think Democrats would love to see John Boehner and his Tea Party freshmen split and fighting with each other, which is why they keep trying to paint him as some sort of reasonable guy who wants to do everything Democrats want to do if only these crazy freshmen would go along. And I don't blame them, by the way. It's kind of a good play on their part because they don't want to cut the kind of spending that Republicans want to, and you have to sort of explain it to the public. And a good way to explain it is to say that these crazies are unreasonable.
If only, yeah.
They want to do all these things that are going to kill children and hurt puppies, and clearly you don't want us to go there.
And David,
I think we will get somewhere eventually.
David, though, this is a critical thing for John Boehner. He's going to want to sign an agreement. He doesn't want this government to shut down, and then he's going to have to shop it. He's going to have to get his guys to buy into this. It is going to be a big moment for his leadership, no?
I think it will be, but I also think it's important for John Boehner to not appear as though avoiding it, I should say, is his first and only goal. Because if he does that, it's going to make his freshmen and other conservatives in the House, who are not freshmen, very suspicious that he's willing to cut any deal as opposed to the best deal he can get. The optics here are very important. On the one hand, Republicans could get blamed if the government shuts down. On the other hand, if it appears that the leadership is trying to do anything to avoid a shutdown, Republicans and conservatives, both in Washington and around the country, are going to be very unhappy, and they are going to think that he did not lead, that he was scared.
And David, I want you to think about the Tea Party here from their perspective. They're not as afraid of a government shutdown as John Boehner, right?
No, because as far as they see it, if the government shuts down, first of all, the government won't spend some money for a few days. But secondly, they actually feel philosophically that the country is in such dire straits that it's worth taking some political risks. And they don't also, I think many Tea Partiers don't understand that there are other political concerns, that moderates, independents, the very people that helped push Tea Party Republicans into office in November didn't necessarily vote for these people for the same reasons as conservative activists did. And I think Democrats recognize that, and that's why they're trying to, in a sense, create a divide so that they can have the moderates and independents on their side as time goes on.
It's going to make it an interesting week. David Drucker from Roll Call, thanks so much. And the conversation around all of this is going to continue on this week on Sunday. Senator Charles Schumer, Democrat of New York, key Democrat. Senator Jeff Sessions, the top Republican on the Senate Budget Committee, as well as Jim Jones, the former top national security advisor.
Yes, and Schumer.